Welcome, everybody, to another week of Thunderdome Fantasy Weekly Report. It's your commissioner. It's the Dragons GM. You know who it is, Mr. Creel. What's up? What's up? Go ahead and get that co-commissioner in up on here too, Mr. John Creel, the Hammerheads GM.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, everybody? Keep my damn shit loaded up.
We also have the Angels GM kind of peeking in over here.
Hey,
Got Miss Pam K.
Hanging
Creel, the
close
Angels
by.
GM, hanging by.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of kids, so I got to be able to come in and back and forth, you know?
All right, so we'll go back to week 12 real quick. Week 12, coach of the week is going to be Hammerheads for getting a win over the Sin Eaters. Players of the week for week 12. Let's see, week 12.
Yeah, I have to go back.
I knew I wasn't for week 12.
Player of the week for week 12 was Saquon Barkley, who put up 46.20 points.
Yep.
Woo.
Defensive player of the week for week 12 was Jimmy Ward, who put up 34.50 points. He's a free agent. Week 13, last week's matchups. First, I'll go ahead and get players of the week since I'm already on that. Last week's matchups, player of the week was Jameis Winston, who put up 40.98 points. And defensive player of the week for last week, week 13, was Leonard Williams, who put up 48.70 points. Huge game for Leonard Williams.
Yep.
I think that's like one of the most defensive points I've ever seen. 40-plus points. That's crazy.
I think the biggest one that I can remember was Chandler Jones a few years ago.
Yeah. I forgot about that. All right, week 13, coach of the week is going to be Showtime 29ers.
Yep.
who beat the Hammerheads. So everybody's 1-1, I feel like, in the past 2 weeks. I'm 1-1, you're 1-1, Ben's 1-1. I think nope. Crimson went 0-2. No, Crimson went 1-1. He won last week in week 12. He won and he lost this week against Los Patos. So
he would have been 2-0, but he had made a move and he didn't put Jerry Jeudy in, man. Jerry Jeudy had 40 points in that game.
Oh, man, yeah. With Jameis putting up as many points as he did, he had to throw to somebody with Cedric Tillman.
Yeah, Tillman was out.
He was out for concussion. Yeah, he was out for concussion. So, big week for all right, we'll get into the matchups this week. We got the Dragons facing off against Crimson Elephants. Crucial game for both teams.
Yes.
I don't believe that Crimson is out of it just yet. Actually, he is. Yeah, he is. Because if he goes 7-7, he's got a chance to make the 5th or 6th spot. But with that, with it being 6 wins, his odds are the least of all the teams for the playoff race because of that 6 wins. And the other teams below him or above him have 7 wins, 7 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, 8 wins. So,
see, this is the thing. He has to get the win. He has to have a decisive amount of points, as well as all the rest of them losing. You know what I mean? They got to have enough people losing to be able to jump those spots into one of the 5th or 6th spots. So
yeah, he's got a chance, but it's slight.
Yeah, I mean it's a real outside shot.
We got the number 11 facing off against the number 1, 2-11 against 10-3. So that game's not really of any significance because Sin Eaters has already made the playoffs. So if he loses to Pam, he's still in the playoffs.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just hurt. It's not
well, I don't
significant.
mean
I could egg or
I don't
two.
mean insignificant as I just meant as it's not going to have as much
He's still,
playoff
Yeah, but
playoff. It's not going to have much playoff talk.
mentally, I
You
want to
know.
knock. Mentally, I want to knock him down a peg, so I'm hoping to
That's
win.
that is. I would love
That's
for you to
what
do
I'm
that
getting.
too. But as far as the rankings and everything for the playoffs, it's an insignificant game. But it's not an insignificant game for if you know for everybody that wants him to get knocked down a peg or two on his little boasting
Like
all
me.
season long. You know, yeah.
Like me.
You got it, but yeah, you got him last week, yeah, or the week before, yeah. So yeah,
and I need to win.
Well, by the looks of the matchup, I have a lot of work to do. So we'll get there.
I've been losing people by the day. So yeah, I get it.
Man, I need to start choosing people to have their bye weeks in like week 4s and 5s, not week 11, 12, 13, and 14 at the end of the damn week when it's in the playoff race. I was like, you know, if I have everybody with their bye weeks in 11 through 14, you know, I ain't got to worry about it through the first 10 weeks. Well, now I'm having to worry about it during the playoff race, and that's even worse. Like, might need to get them knocked out of the way. Number 10, Bucks Life facing off against the number 6 Showtime 29ers. Another game that's Showtime needs to win to keep his playoff hopes alive, but he's playing against Chris, so you know it can hurt him, but it can't help Chris.
It's not going to affect Chris other than knocking him down. So
exactly, I don't even think it'll knock him down some because the two teams below him are both have 2 wins. So Angels would have to win and Los Patos would have to win for it to even be of significance to Chris, and they would have to do it by a certain amount of points as well. So far, it's looking like Los Patos is getting the number 1 overall pick next year. We'll figure that out at the end of this week. We'll have those first through 6th picks ready to go for next show.
Right.
Next game, we got the number 5 facing the number 12. Hendrix Mafia facing off of Los Patos. Another one of those games that Hendrix needs. Los Patos don't, but it could help everybody else if he does beat Hendrix. Hendrix is one of the 2 teams that has a better chance for the 4, 5, and 6 spot of the playoffs due to the fact that he is 1 game ahead of 3 teams and 2 games ahead of Crimson Elephants. Those 3 teams are Orange Crush, Thad Castle's team, and Showtime's 29ers that are battling for the playoff spot. So, and right now it looks like Thad Castle's and Orange Crush are on the outside trying to get in, but we'll see how this week plays out. We still got a lot of football to go with tomorrow night and Monday night. So, next game is the Orange Crush facing off against Hammerheads. This is a crucial game. Crucial for Jeff, and not so crucial for Hammerhead since he's already in the playoffs. But it is a crucial if you can try to get that second place spot to get that bye week. Exactly. Yeah. So it's crucial as far as his seeding in the rankings for the playoffs. But Hammerheads already has Hammerheads already has the spot locked. He's one of 3 teams that have the spot locked, along with Kush Crushers and Sin Eaters. So, and speaking of Kush Crushers,
I can officially say I've accomplished what I had set out to.
The playoff berth.
Keeping my playoff.
Your playoff berth, exactly. And I'm still like I said, I got a good chance because I'm up there with Hendrix. I got a good chance, but I'm still
right there.
What the fuck, bro? And I'm playing against Crimson, so it's like, oh man, I got. Anyway, last match of the week is the number 7 Thad Castle's team facing off against the number 2 Kush Crushers. This is another game that is a crucial game for Thad Castle's team, whereas Kush Crushers is already in the playoffs, but it's another one of those games like the last game where he could either keep his second seed or he could fall out of that second seed spot and have to play that first week of playoffs. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
And it could be a first. This could be a first. I have to go back and check, but if that Castle gets into the championship bracket, I think it will be his first time in the championship bracket.
No, he's been in playoffs before.
Has
David's been in playoffs before. Yeah, if I had my book over here, I could actually go back to that. But I'm 100% David sure that David has been in the championship bracket before. But he is the most winning. He is the most winning constellation bracket champion,
right?
And he is also one of the most. He's also been in the constellation championship the most as well. But I do remember him being in the playoffs at least one time in the top playoffs, because when I was going through doing the history a couple years ago, I remember his record being.
I wasn't sure. It's like I was trying to think. I said,
it might have only been 1 year, and it might have been the first year, but he has been in the playoffs before, and. It's been a minute for him though. It's been at least 3-4 years since he's been in that playoff, so I'm pretty sure it's first time in a while for him.
Okay. I don't doubt.
Let's see. Kush Crushers is up on points from me by like 90 points. Sorry, 82 points. Hammerheads is up on me by 27 points.
Right.
So the points are very close between 3 and 4 with that 27 points, but the record 9-4, 8-5, so things can still jostle around a little bit as far as the playoffs. But
yeah, I mean,
I'm still battling to get in the shit. Like I said, the only 3 teams that are locked in are the number 1 Sin Eaters, number 2 Kush Crushers, and the number 3 Hammerheads.
Yep,
baby.
And it's all about seeding for the top 3. Where we're positioned, because I mean, with a loss by me, wins by you and Hendrix Mafia, I could just as easy, depending on how many points are scored, I could just as easy fall down to the 4th or 5th spot. Hell, maybe even. Well, I don't know that I'd go to 6th, but I know 4th or 5th is a possibility.
Hey, you can't fall to 6th, but you'll definitely fall to 4th or 5th if you lose and me and Hendrix win.
Right.
Possibility with the with points, because Lindsay's not far behind me either as far as points. Why did I just back out of that? Lindsay's points are. Lindsay is like 50 points behind me, like 50.50.
Right.
So he's about 77.7 or 77.5 behind you. So it's close. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, I have come to grips that there's a good chance even in the playoffs I'm not going to fare very well. Like I said, I got people dropping off like flies. I lost a running back today that's going to be out this week. So
I'm feeling you on that front. I mean, I lost Eckler basically for the year. Yeah. I mean, he might show up in the championship if I make it to the championship, but I lost him. So that's one of my top flex players that I was using this year. I went and snatched up Chris Rodriguez Jr. just because of that.
Right.
But he's got a bye week this week, so it ain't really helping me.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Kenneth Walker just, they just had him. I believe it was either doubtful or out. No, it was out. He was out for the game tomorrow. So that means I had to put in Tyler Algier, which that's dumb. He may do good, but he's the backup. So who knows? Who knows how they're going to run tomorrow with Falcons?
Exactly.
I'm still waiting to see what Bucky Irving does. He's been one of my big play guys. I've got Caleb Williams at quarterback because everybody else is on a bye. Yeah, I mean,
and he's going against the 49ers, a stingy 49ers defense. So that's going to be a tough matchup for him.
49ers are on a. They're kind of hurting right now.
They're hurt.
And
they hurt.
The way
both running backs are out.
Yep.
They lost Aiyuk.
On offense. Chicago's been playing decent offense lately. I know last week Caleb Williams had 32 points. Week before that, he was well in double digits as well. So I'm hoping he continues that streak. Just play well.
My options for bench are very weak this week. I have Xavier Worthy and Brock Purdy that I can put in the games.
Right.
Worthy, he just ain't lived up to what he was supposed to be for this team. He is very inconsistent as far as, touching the ball. He only gets about 4 touches a game.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to go up. If he's going to be any type of star, he needs to go up. But it's going to be hard to do that on a Kansas City team anyway, that throws to Travis Kelce and their fucking running back all the damn time.
Well, I mean, you got to look. They've been kind of dinged up at receiver as well. I mean,
they lost. They lost Hollywood Brown.
They lost Rashee Rice.
Rashee Rice. Yeah, I mean, definitely lost their receivers, and then they went out and got D-Hop, and they still got Mecole Hardman, and Xavier Worthy. But it looks like Hollywood Brown's getting ready to come back. Whether it's going to be next week or the week after, he's going to be coming back. But that might be a nice little playoff snatch for some playoff teams if they need a receiver. But who knows what he does when he gets back in there in that very inconsistent offense for players on that team. Even Tom Brady, even Patrick Mahomes himself is inconsistent in that offense. Yeah. Travis Kelce is inconsistent in that offense. Yeah, I mean, the only one that's really been doing anything since he's got in the game has been Kareem Hunt.
Yeah,
and even then, he's had a couple low, 10-point games that you really want more from a starting running back. But now that Pacheco is back, that could even be going down as well. So we'll see how that turns out. Mayfield, after being like the number 3 quarterback last year, number 3 overall last year, he's number 5 still overall, but he could be number 1 overall if he wouldn't have been struggling these past couple weeks, these past 3 out of 4 weeks. One of those weeks was a bye week. So the past 3 weeks he's played, he hasn't put up over 20 points. And this is the crunch time where I need him to be putting up 20 points. He going backwards this year. Last year he was building up as the season goes along. This year he was fire right out the gate, and now he's slowing down a little bit. And I can't fucking be having that shit. But you got Mike Evans, you got 3 other fucking young buck receivers. You got I can't remember his first name, but I know his last name is Otten, and Otten's been going crazy since Cade. I about to say Chris, but Cade Otten been going crazy. With whenever Evans and Godwin were out. Now that Evans came back, I think Godwin fell off. I mean, not Godwin. Otten fell off a little bit last week, but I need them to do something, man. That's crazy.
I mean, they've been going. They haven't been playing quite up to par. I'm not real sure what the Bucs have going on with offense. It's kind of screwy why they've taken a little dip. It just could be whoever they're playing,
especially when their schedule is not that deep at all, or rough or hard or whatever. Like you got the weak ass NFC South that they're playing in, and then the other teams that they've been playing really haven't been, top fucking teams. Let's see here. They've been playing the AFC West, I believe. So they played Kansas City. Damn, they played okay. So they played Washington, the Redskins. They played the Detroit Lions. They beat the Detroit Lions. They played Philadelphia. So I guess they did have an all right schedule. What happened to where they played like one division on top of their division, or 2 divisions on top of their division? Now it's more like they're sprinkled in games with their division. You know what I mean? Yeah. They played Philadelphia, Washington, Dallas, and the New York Giants. So that's all the NFC East teams right there. They've played Philadelphia, that's only one AFC North team. They played Philadelphia, or sorry, they played Baltimore, which is only one AFC North team. They played Philadelphia, which that's we already said Philadelphia. All right, they played Detroit, San Francisco. They played all of the West because they played the Chiefs, they played the Broncos, they're playing Vegas this week, and they played San Francisco. That's all of the Chargers. Sorry, Chargers after the Raiders. So that's all of the AFC West right there. I guess it's that they did do two different divisions. It's because we're not in a 17-week league anymore. It's an 18, so they get a couple other. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. That makes more sense. So Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Baltimore were like, no, sorry, not Philadelphia. Baltimore and San Francisco were like throw-in games just to fill their schedule. Whereas they played the other 8 teams of the AFC West and the NFC East, and then they played the 3 teams in their division.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. Either way, he's falling off. The motherfucker was 37, 32, 29, 33, 33, 28, 22, and now he's at 10, 18, and 12. Like, bro, come on.
And
White too, Rashad White. He's Rashad White too, man. He was a big hopeful for me at the beginning of the year, and now he's turned out to be losing his job. Honestly, like it looked like Irvin's going to be the one to take that over next year.
I think he's already taking it over this year.
Well, they're doing a three-headed. They're doing a dual-headed monster right now with the 2 of them, and sprinkling Tucker in every once in a while. But it looked like next year it could concede more to Irving this next coming season, where it would be more of a 75-25 rather than the 50-50 that they're trying to do with him right now. Because Rashid's still getting his touches. I mean, last week he only put up 8 points, but he ran the ball 11 times for 76 yards. So one of those just turning into a TD would have, put him up at 15 points rather than 8 points, or 14 points rather than 8 points. Either way, like whatever, it double digit him rather than having 8 points if he just scored on one of those 76 yards. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's still getting his touches. Whereas, oh shit, that's stupid. Looks like somebody's having trouble signing in.
What happened?
Not me.
Oh shit!
What happened?
All right, hold on. Let me get done with what I was talking about, and then I will go into what. Okay, so yeah, last year they're playing the hot hand, is what they're doing. The week before, White was the hot hand. Last week, Irvin was the hot hand. So that's why Irvin got 20 touches to 11 compared to White. But the week before, Irvin had 12 touches and White had, sorry, got to back out and look at that one again. Yeah, they're splitting the touches now is what it is. Both of them had 12 touches in the week before.
Yeah.
But White had more but White had a touchdown. I don't know. It's going to be interesting next season.
See, one thing they're doing different than what like
all right,
running backs that we're used to is whenever they say touches, they don't mean carries. They mean carries and receptions or targets.
Yeah.
So that one way or the other, if you've got running backs like Rashad White and Bucky Irving, then you've got guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield and run the ball between tackles. And
that's what they're saying is White is more of the passing down back in Tampa. Bucky Irvin's more of the plow it down the throat kind of guy. Yep. Ben says he would like to join, but his engine exploded in his ride, so he is now trying to search for a vehicle and get a vehicle set up. because he's got to go to work and shit. So he's engaged in the hunt of searching for a vehicle because his engine just blew in his car. So he will not be making the show tonight. We wishing him the best of luck on finding a new vehicle and getting back on track. No, that sucks, bro. I'm sorry for you, man.
For real.
We know about car problems, man.
I know that's right.
For real. All right, so now that we've got those chats out of the way, is there any questions and craziness that we think we got going on? I'm starving, so I'm trying to make this as quick as possible. I had to drive. I got all the way to the house and didn't even get out my car because I looked around and was trying to find my ID to put it in my pocket and bring it inside with me. I couldn't find my work ID, so I literally had to turn around, drive all the way back to work. Then I had to wait on security to come out and escort me into the park because I can't go, not the park, but the back of house. I had to get escorted in because I can't just walk back there without, my ID.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So it just big ordeal. So now I'm starving. Rushing through this. Sorry. I apologize to everyone. The playoff hunt is real. Like shit.
Look, I'll do my best to knock Sin Eaters down one. Okay, that's all I can say.
I mean, if you could just kick him in the balls and have him sore for the next week. That's all we're asking.
Maybe he'll forget to put some people in while he's recovering from the nut shot. I don't know.
I doubt that.
We got Kush Crushers on the backstage, just waiting for his camera to click in, and then I'll get him going.
Look, my team has been fighting the whole time. And
there we go. Oh, nope. His camera came up, and then he went off again. Hold on. We'll gotta wait for him one more again.
One more again, right?
One more again. That's a fan. I don't know what that is. Go back to that last setting you had, Miller. You were good. I just had to wait for your camera to load.
What he said?
Holy moly.
Just waiting for him to load back in. This is what we got of him right now.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
This says no camera.
Yeah, this just says no camera. So just click your camera button and let's go, buddy.
Camera.
Bro, I got the camera clicked. I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Click it again. Oh, wait. I can't click it for you. There you go. Let it load. Let it load.
I guess.
Hey, Evan, bro, move the microphone away a little bit because it sounds like an obscene phone call. I swear to God, you're breathing heavy right into it.
I'm waiting for Luke. I'm waiting for Luke. I am your father.
Go ahead, Darth Vader. Tell us something.
Come on, tell me something, Darth Vader.
What?
He never said, Luke, I am your father.
What's going on?
Yeah,
I know.
He said, that's one of those Mandela effects because I remember him specifically saying, Luke, I am your father. And now it doesn't say that.
Yeah.
He says, no, I am your father.
You're not my father, motherfucker.
All right, so what's wrong with this?
Okay. Where were you just
He's there. He's on.
We can hear you. That's all that matters.
We can hear him loud and clear.
All right, whatever. Fuck this shit, dude.
We can hear you loud and clear.
You don't want to work, right?
Fluff this stuff.
It was working just a second ago, but then when I guess you hit something and it went off.
Sometimes you gotta start over.
I probably denied the cookies.
Oh shit! Bro.
Close everything down and do it again. What are we zooming for?
It zooms in on the person when I hit the little profile picture of it or whatever. Oh shit! What the hell? It disconnected him and it kicked him out. All I was trying to do was take him to the backstage and then bring him in real quick, see if that would reset his camera. Come back, Miller! I had questions for you. Like, how did it feel beating my ass last week?
All right.
Oh, my. I can see.
Well, I'm pretty much almost everybody.
There he is.
My ass, so.
He did reset himself. I was like, come back. How did it feel to beat my ass last week?
Hey, I had questions. You said we had to write down shit. It was supposed to be an extra long show, But as I'm coming on, I hear that your tummy is a little hungry.
I'm starving, bro. I could have ate before the show, but no, I had to go back to work to get my damn work ID, man. Like fucking
We
bullshit.
would have waited.
Yeah, we go ahead on
We
that.
would have waited.
I mean, it's Saturday night, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Right.
not like
I gotta work at 8:30 in the morning. You talking about Saturday night? I picked up overtime, guys. I am working. I am on day 5 of 12 days that I have to work in a row before I get a day off. So yeah, tomorrow will be day 6, and
all I know is there's no way in hell I could work my job that fucking many days in a row without wanting to shoot myself in the face. Okay.
I already want to shoot myself in the face, but I need the money. I need money.
The only ones that have not beat me in a game is Bucks Life and Los Patos. Everybody else has whooped my ass.
Damn.
And those are the other 2 bottom teams, so that's crazy.
And I've done everything I could
knocking out the
this year.
bottom feeders.
She's knocking out the bottom feeders.
My players just don't want to perform.
All right, so we got questions. Let's get them going.
So all I know is Christina's coming.
The first, yeah, you did. First question is well, I guess it's not a question. I'm just gonna pat myself on the back for getting the highest number of points so far this year. Since we didn't do the show, I did go back and look before I made that statement, by the way, because I see Evan's eyes going into the thinking mode there for a second. Like, hang on, are you sure? Ben's got close, but I do hold that he's got more over 278. I think he's got like 3 or 4 games this year where he scored over 200.
Evan looks like he's calculating.
Wait, have we had a 300-point guy so far? I
don't think so. I was so close in that game. That week, it showed I was projected like 307. And then whatever player I had playing last, he kind of dropped down on the points. And I was like, damn, 295. Like,
I literally scored 307 last
Okay,
week.
so yeah, I just double checked. He's correct. I was like, I thought Chris did, and nope, he put up almost 8.5 points more than Chris. So
I seen that too. I was like, damn, Chris came close. He came close. But anyway, the actual question I wanted to get to, maybe you guys weren't aware of it. Nobody's really paid attention to it, or it was just something you guys discussed as commissioners. It was like, nah, it ain't worth it. But I noticed following my game a little bit more closely last week, since it's Thanksgiving. It says, can we consider voting on adding a prevented 2-point conversion as points for the defense team? Because as of right now, there are no points for that on Yahoo. If you stop
team defense, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know team defense will be adjusted next year. Me and John have already talked about this. We're gonna add 4th down stops. We're gonna add 3 and outs.
Isn't it? Or no?
I don't think it's in the other league. It's in the other league, I believe, the NFL league. So I'm gonna add. It might just be 3 and outs, but I'm gonna add 4th down stops. Yeah, I'm gonna add 4th down stops, and if we can do the prevented 2-point conversions as well, I will do that one as well. But I don't know if that one's an actual stat. That might not be why it's not up there. Okay. But yeah, I do want to upgrade that. And instead of it being the defense starting off with 10 points, they're going to start off with 20 points next year. Okay. And it'll be 20, 15, 10, 5, 0, -5, -10. Where this year it's like 10, 7, 4, 1, or 0, -3, -7, or some shit like that. So I'm going to adjust that next year because I feel like team defenses we've upgraded everything else around the league other than just team defense. So I think that's the last step for us is upgrading team defense and maybe adding a punter if we can figure that out. But I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, you like that, right? Hey, I had seen that. I was like, punter.
If I could add a punter and you could give them, punt yards, every yard they punt, it'd be like the kicking the field goals yardage. It'd be the same thing,
right,
except punt yardage, and then inside the 20.
Inside the 20.
Yeah.
Right.
Give them like 2 or 3 points for pinning them inside of 20 or something like that. Yeah, I could definitely do something like that.
That's actually not a bad idea.
But I don't think that punters are eligible. I have not seen it on Yahoo, so I will be digging into all this in the off season.
I looked it up. They do have the option for punter.
Okay.
I don't know.
Bro, we might be the only fucking league that drafts punters, bro. I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna be like, yeah, my punter is so and so from wherever. And they're gonna
be like, what? Like, honestly, I think I'm gonna do the team defense next year. The punter would be something that we would vote on, adding the position. And then that would probably be the season 10. That would be the year of the punter.
Look, I need all the points I can get at this rate.
Hell yeah. I'm going to get the top punter, first round pick. Hell yeah.
So real quick. Oh, that's better. Hell yeah. That's a little better. Shit. Anyway, you were talking about the 4th downs and the 3 and outs being forced. So I pulled up mine and Thad Castle's game going on currently and looked at the scoring. And for Green Bay, I did get a point for 4th down stops. I did get a point for 3 and out forced, which was 1 because they did 1. And then it was last week's game where I noticed there wasn't any points for the 2-point conversion, but we do get it for everything else apparently. Just not the 2-point conversions currently.
Okay, so we do get 4th down stops, and we do get 3 and outs forced. I'm gonna up that to 2 points for 4th down stops, and I'm gonna leave the 3 and outs forced at 1 point. 2 extra point returned, we get 2 points for those. I'm not seeing well, maybe that's because I'm in my settings. I would have to edit this to see if it let me add the prevent 2-point conversions. So let's see, league settings. Edit scoring settings right here. All right, let's go down to miscellaneous.
Just don't hit the reset league button.
No, I'm definitely not gonna do that.
Dude, there'd be so many piss. We'd all be like,
what the fuck?
We need to take a year off, bro.
I would be. Yeah. Okay. So no, there is no button for prevented 2-point conversions. There is a button to give the return yards to team defense, but I didn't want to do that because the player is getting the return yards, so I didn't want it to be doubled into points for that. We could add tackles for loss, so I could do tackles for loss 1 point, 3 and outs 2 points, and then 4th down stops 3 points. But again, no, the team defense don't get tackles for loss, but the individual defensive players do get the tackles for loss. So that's another thing where I was like, I didn't want to double up on that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't feel like the team defense deserved the tackle for a loss. I felt like the player deserved the tackle for the loss, which is kind of the same thing I felt with the return yards. I don't feel like the team defense deserves that. I feel like the player deserves that.
I agree with that.
The only other thing would be add bonuses. So if they were allowed negative yards, defensive yards allowed negative, they could get points for that. If they only allow 0 to 99 offensive yards against them, they could get points for that. If they only allowed 100 to 199, they could get points for that. But then it would get to the point where it'd be kind of like the other defensive spot where it's, right now it's at 10, 7, 4, 1, 0, -1, -4. Well, it would kind of be like that with the defensive yards as well. So if you do negative, he'd be like, okay, 10 points there for that. Or shit, negative yards is 20 points in my opinion, because you're never going to get, a team that puts up negative offensive yards. It's just not going to happen. They're going to get at least 30 plus running yards and 30 plus passing yards. So they're going to get at least 50 yards or more on offensive side of the ball.
I'm no longer in the business of saying, nothing will ever happen, bro. I've seen a lot. I never thought would.
You're right. You're right.
So, but I agree with
I just think it's rare if that's gonna happen. You got to be like Alabama playing against fucking some scrub team, like
High school.
He's got to be playing against a high school team.
Nah, they bring in the XFL.
But if I did that where it was defensive yards 500 plus, it'd be negative 25 points. You just let up 500 plus yards of offensive yardage. It would be weird adding all that into it, the defensive yards allowed, because then it would be just like the defensive points allowed. It'd be like a positive for low numbers and a negative for high numbers. But we'll see how that works out next year. I'm gonna hit this X button before I fuck up and change the settings or delete the league list. I'm gonna get out of that. I'm gonna get out of that and go back to the normal. Any other questions? All right, I got a question. How y'all feel about that Aziz Al-Shahir hit on Trevor Lawrence? Do y'all agree with Tom Brady that there should be penalties to quarterbacks who decide to slide late?
Yes, I agree with that.
I'm going to say
there should be penalties for quarterbacks that look like they're supposed to go out of bounds and all of a sudden dip back in to try to gain extra yardage before going out.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes every fucking time he runs the ball. Yeah. I get it. I'm going to say no on the negative thing for quarterbacks. No. Tom Brady is, bro, if that would have been Tom Brady or if that would have been friggin' Patrick Mahomes that took that hit, that guy would have been kicked out of the league, fined $150,000 for every second that he lives after the game. Like, it would have just been ridiculous fucking fines on top of fines on top of fines on top of punishments on top of punishments. But since it wasn't those two quarterbacks, it was just, kick him out, suspend him for a couple games.
Let's not forget, what was it? Was it Joe Flacco that was playing for the Ravens when he also took a late slide and fucking got his world lit up to where it put him out for over a year. He didn't come back until like halfway through the next season. It wasn't even for the same team. You know what I mean? So like, I hear what you're saying.
He got knocked into a different uniform. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he got knocked.
I think he tore something in his leg while he got hit. Yeah.
But like, I just,
I just don't know. I understand the late slide thing because listen, if you're running down your football and then you see a player coming to you, you're going to the ground. There's nothing late about it. You're choosing the moment when you're going down. There is no, I'm choosing it early to go down and I'm choosing it late to go down. No, you're judging. You see a fucking 250-pound linebacker running at your ass and you don't want to take a hit, you're going down. Now, if you see what I take as a late hit is if you see the body on the way to the ground and you see the leg curled up behind him, don't hit him.
Yeah.
But if you see he acts like plow that motherfucker, I just go ahead and say it right now. The game has gotten too soft. Too soft. I miss the old days when wide receivers were able to blindside linebackers. 180-pound wide receivers were able to crack block on a 250-pound. No, you can't do that no more. That's a penalty. The 250-pound linebacker can't take that kind of hit against a puny receiver. Like, I am so sick of this soft-ass bullshit. It's just as soft as – it's starting to be as soft as basketball, in my opinion. You might as well take the pads off of them, put flags on their ass, and just be done with it. Because that's where the fucking game is heading with all this soft ass shit.
So check this out. The biggest reason that Al Shahir got hit with what he got hit with was the fact that this is not the first occurrence that he's had over the past year and a half, 2 years. He has been subject to quite a few plays apparently that have been dirty.
What's the guy, Vontae Burfict or whatever? Vontez Burfict. He has definitely had a couple Burfict hits on people. Yeah. Yes, well, in 49ers uniform. Oh, sorry, in the 49ers uniform and in the Tennessee uniform.
Well, he has been fined quite a bit of money. It was like $24,000 last year for a couple incidents, punching at Tony Pollard out of bounds. I believe it was end of last year, this year, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the type of the game that's uncalled for, and I get that. The late hits, that's uncalled for. There's no reason to hit somebody that's on the, out of bounds or on the ground.
The hit on Trevor Lawrence to me was very subjective. You could have went either way with that hit to me, because it's a bang bang thing. Just like I've heard before. Okay, if that guy starts to go to make the tackle, right? If all of a sudden, if he's already in motion, diving to try to tackle the guy or coming to try to tackle the guy, what's he supposed to do? Hover? Is he supposed to just all of a sudden, like cartoons, stop in mid fucking air and not touch him?
Honestly, in my opinion, you put your hands in front of you at that point when you see and use your hands to, you know what I mean? But he didn't do that. He used his forearm and his helmet, and he put it up against his helmet. Like, that's where the no-no was. So I understand the bang-bang thing, but if you're going to the ground and you see somebody going to the ground, you can extend your hands and use your, you know what I mean? Use your arms to push him out of the way and then kind of lessen your blow on him. But when you go out there full with your shoulder and your helmet, that's a little different.
That's just like the penalty with, the penalty whenever the like a defensive lineman hits the quarterback and then they get him for a late hit or driving the quarterback to the ground or in the ground or some bullshit like that.
I dislike that penalty too. I dislike that penalty as well, though, because if that quarterback is right there and he's in the pocket and somebody misses their fucking block, what's that defensive lineman supposed to do? He's supposed to just go wrap him up and be like, okay, call the flag or call the play. You know what I mean? Now, I understand the falling on top of him part, but as far as taking a fucking hard hit because your offensive line didn't fucking block, that's on your offensive line. That's not on that defensive player. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, the falling on top of him part, I do 100% agree. You're putting 350 pounds of or plus, them are big-ass defensive linemen. And when you're falling on top of somebody, you can break their ribs, you can crush their shoulder, your collarbones, you know what I mean? But if you tackle somebody, I agree with you. If it's
how do you not
fall on them
into the ground? If you were already in the motion of hitting them.
I 100% agree with that. You're in the motion of hitting somebody, and you're trying not to hit them too low because they get the penalty for hitting quarterbacks in the knees. You're trying not to hit them too high because you get the penalty from hitting them in the head. So when you're putting your fucking face mask in their chest, where's your body going to go when you're going towards the ground? On top of the motherfucker, like you're gonna go right on top of him. You can't hit him in the chest and then be like and dive away from him. Like
this is who deserves the penalty.
The game is inconsistent when it comes to these hits. It really is.
No. I'm gonna tell you, who needs to get penalized in a situation like that is gravity.
It's the offensive line.
Gravity is not going to change.
They need to call a 5-yard penalty on the offensive lineman for not blocking the motherfucker that came across the line. Like, that's what it needs to be. You missed your block, 5-yard penalty. Don't blame it on the defensive player for doing his fucking job. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? And I agree with it. That's why I say I agree with the Al Shahir hit. Like, it was a bang bang. He was on his way. He was already in the motion to drop to make the tackle. But once you see somebody dropping, that's when you can. These right here are not hard to fucking extend. They're not hard. And he didn't do that. He kept them right here, and you know what I mean? Okay, we'll move on for that. We'll move on for that. How do you feel about Anthony Richardson being fined for laying the boom while running? A quarterback being fined for laying the boom while running and hitting somebody, lowering the shoulder and hitting somebody.
When it comes to that,
that's fucking ridiculous.
I have been bitching at motherfucking TV for years about how a defensive player can get penalized for putting their hand up in the face of an offensive player. It doesn't matter if it's a quarterback, lineman, receiver, whoever.
Yep. Hands to the face. But a running back,
right?
Yeah, a running back like Derrick Henry can put his hand in your face mask and shove you to the fucking ground, and it ain't shit. Yes, I agree with that too. Yeah. I agree with that too.
So I think that's where, man. I've never heard a quarterback getting penalized or like.
Bro, he got fucking fined for that hit, dude. And all he did was lower the shoulder, bro. If it had been Saquon Barkley doing that, nothing would have been said. But since it like,
for that, bro. Like, I don't understand.
It was a ridiculous fine, is what the fuck it was. Yeah. I agree.
If you look back at the replay, it wasn't even like.
It wasn't the helmet to helmet. Exactly. It was like he just. Leaned forward. Like he can't lean forward. He's a quarterback, so he gotta slide. Like and Brian Branch was the one that hit him, and Branch is not no little like he's not a small guy. He's a fucking beast when it comes to that shit. I mean, he's a little fragile and he gets concussed a lot, and but as far as a defensive player, he's
tummy ache. Yes.
I just feel like the game is he said he'd come out the game for a tummy ache. I just feel like the game is getting soft.
To take a shit, DK.
Oh yeah, DK. He had the shit so bad he got carried off the field.
You guys are talking about all my guys right now, okay? Like I have Brian Branch. I also have DK. So
you don't have Anthony Richardson, and you don't have Trevor Lawrence either. So we 2 for 2. We 2 out of 4 on this. You just calm down. No.
Who are you gonna talk about?
I do really feel the game is so inconsistent when it comes to that shit because some people will lay a fucking lick. You know, there are running backs that will literally lower their head and hit a defensive player. No call ever gets called, but then a defensive tackle or defensive back or something does it to an offensive player and it's 15 yards. You're out of the game for unnecessary hit. You know what I mean? Like it's so inconsistent. We need to go back to good old 90s smash mouth football and get away from all this soft ass pussy shit because it's soft. It's soft. It's softer than like a lot of these players are softer than toilet tissue, bro.
Bro, I hear what you're saying, but the reason we can never go back is because of the reason why we're even having this show right now. Fantasy football, whether it's gambled or not gambled, it's making tons of fucking money for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that is why we will never go back to the 90s, bro. They need players to last longer. They need players to score more points. How do you do that? Add all these technicalities to it. Look at the NBA, bro. They got games that are almost pushing 200 points at sometimes, bro. And it's like,
that's
damn, bro.
No defense. Yeah, no defense. Right. They're flopping the whole damn game. Yep. I can't stand watching basketball, bro. Watching basketball pains me. It pains me to watch a basketball game. It really does. I literally would. If I would go watch a live game and be sitting on the court or whatever, I would probably get kicked out of the game because I'd be calling all of them soft ass pussies. I would literally
it's like WWE. They're just not wrestling. They're just putting on a show.
They're just putting on a show. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, did you hear the new rule?
It was a good point
for the MLB. Did you hear the new rule for the MLB?
Oh yeah, they're gonna golden bat rule. That's the stupid fucking. That is the stupidest fucking rule ever.
Rule?
It's called the golden batter rule.
Yep.
And anytime once during the game, you can choose a batter of your choice to go up to bat. That makes no damn sense, bro. That's basically takes out the batting lineup.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's
and it's not going to work like they think it is. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're giving Shohei Ohtani one more bat. Oh, or you're giving Aaron Judge one more bat or Juan Soto, because it's only going to be for bomb ass hitters. I mean, it's not. Nobody's going to be like, you know what? Let's grab our backup shortstop and see if he can get a hit right now. You know what I mean? Like, no. The only other thing I can see them doing it away if they don't put a power hitter up is them taking the hottest hitter of that game and being like, hey, you're 3 for 4 right now. Step up the bat again, brother. Let's see if you can keep that. Yeah, that's what I would do. That's the strategy I would work. I wouldn't put up my hottest or my power hitter. I would put up the hottest hitter in the game. If you're getting up the bat and you're touching the ball every damn bat at bat and you're putting it in play. I don't care if you're
in scoring position, bro.
Exactly.
In scoring position,
I would be studying all that. Runner, who's doing good with runners in scoring position? Who's doing? Yes, I would study all that during the whole game, and I would judge for. Even if everybody on my team is 0-4, it's whoever is touching the ball the best, getting the best contact at that point. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I still think it's a shit rule. Yeah, I still think it's a shit rule. Like, just leave it. There was nothing wrong with baseball. The best thing they did for baseball was the pitch timer. That was the best thing. That way it doesn't drag the fucking game out for 5-6 hours like it has been. Now the pitcher has to throw the ball within a certain second. That's the best rule they've come up with the past 10 years.
You know how many times I fell asleep, took a 30-minute nap, and woke back up after I ate.
It'd still be the same inning.
The pitcher didn't throw the pitch yet. He's still sitting there with his bag, tossing it and shit. Like,
same batter. The count went from you slept for 30 minutes. The count went from 0-1 to 1-1. Like, shit. Yes, I just don't. I don't understand. I don't really. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to, give the teams something. I don't know, but the golden bat rule is definitely stupid. I definitely don't like that rule.
I mean, I thought you said the golden bat boy rule.
Golden batter.
Bat boys.
Hell,
no, it's the golden bat.
Signing up to be a bat boy right now.
For real, I'd be signing up to be a bat boy if they were doing the golden bat boy rule. Like, I go to the Marlins, man. They need help. Like, I know the Marlins.
I'm swinging. Wow. I hit it right. No.
That was just the sound of the ball hitting the glove. But like, if it ain't a changeup or a curveball, I have no chance in hell of hitting that shit. Like, all they gotta do is throw 3 straight heaters, and I'm swinging at it whether it's over the plate or not.
Bat out halfway.
Exactly. I'm trying to bunt.
You can't carry a tennis racket, dude.
I may only make it halfway to first on my feet, but I'm gonna crawl the rest of the way. Let me make contact.
I don't know. I think I'm as fast as 90% of those baseball players. Like, they know there's not that many fast motherfuckers in baseball. I mean, you got like. I
mean, I'm as fast as David Ortiz right now, but like, sure.
I think you're fast as David Ortiz when he was playing. that man, he wasn't that fast. I wouldn't say 90%, but I'd say 50%. I'm probably faster than 50% of the baseball players out there. Dude, I
don't think I've ran since 2017. So,
shit, I ran just a few minutes ago into the den from the parking lot to fucking gate 2. Hey, I left my license and my ID in there. I gotta get. I was out of breath and I needed a drink, but I ran at least 200 yards from the parking garage to the damn gate 2, nonstop.
I used to run all the time, man, but yeah, I haven't ran since the pandemic, to be honest with you, like off and on.
Man,
I could probably run about a 5, maybe somewhere around a 5, 40-yard dash.
I'd say a 5.5.
Nah, try me.
You trying a 5-second 40-yard dash, bro? I'm not running a 5-second 40-yard dash. Ain't no fucking way, bro. I bet I run a 5.5. I bet offensive linemen are faster than me, bro.
Whenever I was in not high school, whenever I got out of the military, I was running like a 4.7, 4.8. So I couldn't have dropped that much.
Bro, I ran a 4.6 in high school, so there's no way in hell I'm running a 5 flat now. Shit, there's no way. I bet I'll run a 5.5 or higher. Like, I don't know. Maybe if I take my shoes off and I'm in the grass, like get some good grip.
Hey,
But
that's a good point. Shoes do matter.
if I'm wearing shoes and I'm on pavement, I'm probably slipping the first couple steps.
I guarantee I could run 4 flat. Guaranteed. Because minutes are a long fucking time. Okay?
I was like, bro, he definitely guessed. Like, then he said minute. I was like, yeah,
you know, every 10 yards. He's like, hang on a second, let me get this snack real quick.
Oh, I gotta rest.
Every 10 yards, he's like, oh my God, I'm out of breath.
Bro, when I was in the military, we had this, he was like probably in his 60s, maybe in his 50s. This dude, he was our warrant officer. He's been in at this point, he was in the Marines for like 20 something years. And we'd have our physical fitness training or test that we'd have to do every year. And it was a 3-mile run, 100 crunches in less than 2 minutes, I think. And then there was, you had to get 10 push-ups or more to get like 100 points or whatever. The total score would be 300. You get 100 for each if you got in the top. Like to get 100 in a 3-mile, you had to get around 18-minute 3-mile. This dude would run halfway, spark up a cigarette, smoke the entire cigarette, bro, run the other half, and beat everybody. Everybody, dude. I'm talking like he was clocking in like 16, 17-minute 3-mile runs. And he was in his 50s, easy in his 50s. I'm like, yo, that's what I'm going to try to be like him. I obviously am not. I've gained some weight.
You gave up on that, right?
But I just, man, I think about that. You know, I don't know what brought that up. You know, I smoked a little bud, so that probably brought it up. But I thought that I'd share that little bit of information. What's up?
All right, I got a question for y'all.
All right.
Out of everybody, offensively, fantasy wise, who are y'all most impressed with this season? Doesn't have to be on your squad or not.
So the entire season or currently?
From weeks 1 till 13.
So I'm gonna say currently, Jameis, straight up. But the entire season, that's a good one, bro. For the entire season. Because I don't want to go quarterback. I feel like there's been performers like that have been shining.
I'll go ahead and give mine. Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Don't get me started on Barkley.
That's a good
Barkley.
One. I know,
Barkley's
right?
on my list.
Bro has been.
Damn,
he's been.
So bad for you.
He's been up and down for the past couple of years on Pam's team, and the year she decides not to draft his ass is the year he goes the fuck off. Like,
I mean, you know, even with the type of year that Derrick Henry is having, which Derrick Henry and Saquon are having the best years they've had probably ever, and Saquon still.
I wouldn't.
Better point. I mean, fantasy wise. Putting up
fantasy wise, I was about to say, yeah.
But yeah, I have to agree with that one. He's been huge.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Your quarterback, John.
Jaden Daniels, right? I agree.
Bro,
he's been another one. I was lucky to even.
Bro,
I got him
so
and I'm
hard.
like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, he has been like rookie of the year. Between him and if I were to pick Bucky, if I were to pick rookie of the year between people on I'd have to pick Cole because between him and Bucky Irving, They have been carrying my team.
Bro,
Carrying my team.
But like that's another good one too. But like I give it to Daniels over Bucky just because of his consistency every single week, bro.
Right.
And I'm being honest with you, man. I heard all of the commentators talking about how Daniels was going to come in and do this and that. I was reading all of the shit and I was looking at him and I'm like, I just don't see it, bro. It's the Commanders.
Yep.
You know, plus the head coach. I don't know if it's worth going after, you know. So I went the safe route and I chose Darnold when I got him, you know what I mean? And,
right.
And like I'm not upset with that, but I'm just saying, like, as far as impressed, Daniel's got to be the most impressive.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't want to pick another quarterback, but then I went back and I'm like, bro, I don't know that anybody can really honestly say that they thought he would be putting up these kind of numbers, especially.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
I definitely thought he was going to be the best fantasy rookie quarterback, but not this good.
Yeah, for real.
Like I thought I knew he was gonna. I knew it was gonna be him, and I thought Bo Nix was gonna be right up there next to him. Bo Nix got off to a rough start, but he's starting to click now a little bit more. But both of them, I knew both of them were gonna be better than Caleb Williams, and they've proved me right. Caleb Williams, don't get me wrong, he's doing okay things up there in Chicago, but if you can't win games, what's it matter?
Well, like, I mean, Chicago's ownership's a shit show anyway right now.
Right. I think that's what happened with Bo as far as fantasy goes. Like, him and Sean came to an agreement that, you know what, it's probably best. Let's just win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll worry about the rest later. And Chicago clearly can't figure that out. And I'm glad that they fired their head coach. Because when that shit happened during Thanksgiving, bro, I'm looking at Jones. Dude, I was standing up. I had just came out of the restroom, dude, walked in the living room, and I'm like, oh, they're going to call a timeout. Easy, right? They're going to call a timeout. No timeout, bro.
They had like 15 seconds on the clock to call a timeout. They ran it all the way down to 4 before they snapped the damn ball.
Bro.
And then when they threw the ball, there was no clock left on no time left on the clock. Like, what were you doing, bro? If you would have snapped it. No, that was all the coach. Yeah.
Thank you.
That was all the coach.
He's a rookie, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he wasn't looking at that, and you could tell he wasn't even looking at the clock. He was just running this play.
Right.
Like you told him what play to run. He walked up there and he was finna run the play, and then you didn't call the timeout. That was on you.
Yep.
I'm waiting for Jags. I'm waiting for this season to be over so that Con fucking cleans house. I'm ready for Peterson to be gone. He's doing the same shit he did in Philadelphia. He's dying on that Press Taylor horse. Dude, I guarantee you the next time Doug Peterson signs a contract with any team, there is going to be an asterisk clause in there that says you cannot hire Press Taylor. I guarantee you the next contract Doug Peterson fucking signs, there will be a clause that says you cannot hire Press Taylor. Because this is the second team that he's been with that he has died. He has completely fell off the map because of a sorry-ass fucking offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I guarantee you the next team that looks at him is going to be like, bro, if you try to bring Press Taylor in here, we're just going to turn around and just fire you and bring somebody else in. Like,
more than likely, going forward, he's going to have to go a route like go coach in college and then come back. Because he is probably not going to get another. Look, there are not too many coaches that get more than 2 coaching gigs in the NFL.
Right.
There has to be a lot of circumstance before they can get back in.
Todd Bowles. Wasn't Todd Bowles the head coach for the Bucs not too long ago? And then he lost that job and Bruce Arians got it. And then Bruce Arians brought him back as the defensive coordinator. Now they gave it back to him as the head coach.
He's one of the exceptions. He's actually been a head coach 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. I thought there was a stint where he was with the Jets for a very short period.
I think so, yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah, he came from the Jets to Tampa.
I think he was interim.
That may be what it was.
I think he was an interim head coach with the Jets.
Yep. I think you're right.
And that's what led to him getting the job in Tampa, I believe.
Right.
Because the Jets' defense has been there for a minute. Obviously, we see that.
Yeah, that all goes back to a shit show of ownership.
Right.
I mean, look, you can tell.
Supposedly,
Chicago's got a shit show.
Yep.
Jets got a shit show.
Yep.
Carolina's got a shit show.
Yep.
Man,
for ownership.
y'all remind me not to go to that show.
What?
Shit
Oh,
show.
Vegas. Well, yeah, Vegas too. Vegas too. The best thing that Mark Davis did for the Raiders were move them to Vegas because of the money.
Well, that's where his 21-year-old girlfriend was at. So, you know. Yeah.
Oh, hey, whatever he had to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
you got a 21-year-old girlfriend?
Speaking of which,
no. It had nothing to do with that. It was football talk. Y'all brought that up.
the timing was
Tom Brady. Tom Brady
has a 21-year-old girlfriend.
He's now part ownership or whatever in Vegas.
Before. So that's the one thing you got to remember. I think that things may start turning around for the Raiders probably faster than the other three teams that we talked about because Brady has connections and more than likely Mark Davis is going to look to Brady when it comes to next season. And Brady is coming from a different point of view. It's not just somebody who has been in the league and this and that. This is somebody who has stake in the company. He has money. He has ownership invested. So whatever decision, whoever he gets in contact with, whoever they go with for coach, people they bring in from this point on, you've got to think it's got to come from somebody who is invested.
Who's the coach there right now?
Is
McDaniel still the coach in Vegas?
No, dude.
No, he got fired last year, right? Antonio Pierce, that's right. He got fired last year, that's right.
Yeah, he played linebacker for the Giants, and
yeah, I know who Antonio Pierce is. Yeah. All right. Supposedly, the Jets are not being ran by Woody; they're being ran by Woody's son.
Yeah, what?
Okay, listen.
Yeah, Woody's son.
Yeah, Woody's son is supposedly
because Woody was talking about going back overseas to live, and doing something. I'm trying to remember. I believe he had some ties in politics or some shit like that. Anyway, he was going over there. I thought I'd heard something about him going over there to be an ambassador for the United States or something like that. I'm not. Don't hold me to the whole story because I give a shit about the Jets about as much as I do like East Bitty Bumfuck State. Okay, I don't care. So when it comes down to it, Woody's probably been gone.
Son's only like a 21-year-old kid.
I mean,
so that's why the dumpster fire is happening in New York right now.
He's just collecting ball cards right now. That's why he's got Aaron Rodgers.
I got Aaron Rodgers. I got Devontae Adams. You know, I got Hassan Reddick. You know, and next year all of them players are gonna leave. All them players are going to leave. Devontae Adams is going to leave. And I guarantee you, whatever team he's going to, it's not going to be to it won't be to a team with Aaron Rodgers, and it won't be. Right. I guarantee he's not going to follow Aaron Rodgers to Minnesota next year. I guarantee that shit.
I would.
He's got to finish the Brett Favre cycle. You know?
I would hope Aaron Rodgers kind of
retires
because he is not the same Aaron Rodgers. Nah. You can tell by his play he is not the same Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And he refuses to really adapt to the fact that he's aged, you know.
Yep.
That's a huge difference, you know, like
Tom Brady aged like a fine wine, and Aaron Rodgers aged like a piece of bologna sitting outside.
he looks like a complete mess. Like he
looks like a fucked up Nicolas Cage is what he looked like.
He always has. Always has.
Yeah, he's borderline looking like a homeless guy. Really. He's like it's rough.
I don't.
I feel like him and Bill Paxton are not Bill Paxton. What's Roadhouse guy that starred with that is Bill Paxton, ain't
it? Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, the dude from Tombstone. He was also in Roadhouse with the original Roadhouse.
Oh, you're talking about.
He was also with Nicolas Cage in the Ghost Rider movie.
Yeah. You're talking about what's his name?
He does the commercials with
Sam Elliott.
I can't hear you.
He does the USAA commercials with Gronk.
Yeah, he does the USAA commercials with Gronk. It's Sam Elliott. Yeah, I swear Sam Elliott and Aaron Rodgers are starting to look similar. And they got a 50 years age gap on them. And they look the same.
Sam Elliott is like 138 years old, okay?
Sam Elliott, I swear to God, he was alive during the fucking Prohibition.
Him and damn, what's the other guy?
That motherfucker was alive back whenever everything was black and white, dude. I mean, for real.
No, him and Morgan Freeman have been alive together.
Have you heard the conspiracy of Morgan Freeman?
No,
he's not really Morgan Freeman.
We'll talk this on the back show because it's not really football. We'll move on, but I'm gonna let y'all know the conspiracy of Morgan Freeman, and y'all are gonna freak out because it's pretty damn crazy.
Everybody that's watching, which is nobody, they're probably like,
I know everybody. There's one person that's watching over here, but they were like, "What's going on with Morgan Freeman?"
I want to hear about Morgan Freeman.
Are you the one watching in the background?
No.
Well, somebody's watching. We do have a person watching. So.
That's my Xbox. My bad.
Oh, you're watching. Okay.
I got to put up on the
TV. Shit.
Oh,
I was wondering why nobody's commented. I've been on the comment page for a minute, like waiting on this person in the chat to be like, "This ain't fantasy football talk."
I thought we were viral, dude.
Viral with the one watching. Y'all are we're all on a big screen TV. We may not be viral, but we went big.
All right, so defensive wise, who do y'all think has been a stud that y'all have liked this year?
So, I'm sorry, I'm jumping the shark here, but Newman, the safety for the Giants, dude has probably been one of my most consistent players on other leagues. I don't think I have him in Thunderdome, but on other leagues, and it just like every time I see dude, he is scoring. I mean, he's just consistently putting up, if not 8, 9, it's been like double digits. I mean, he's playing probably the best defender with the Giants right now. To me, it just always showing out. Other than that, let's see. Defense. I would say TJ Watt, but he's missed a few games with injury. Oh, that's a hard one. I guess those are the only two that I've got so far. And I'm the only one on the show. Hey, everybody.
No, you're here.
Hey, you're running off on this, right?
No. I am also going with another Philadelphia player. This player last year, he only put up 54 defensive fantasy points on his team as a starting linebacker last year. This year, he has got 151 fantasy points, so he has slaughtered his numbers last year. Mr. Zach Bond for the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
This man he literally left the New Orleans Saints, and he is a whole nother player in Philadelphia.
Right? Because I was going to say, I don't want to try to be biased by no means. So I went and I looked, right? I have the 2 top linebackers in the league. Did not know this until just now. Both Zach Bond and Van Ginkel are the top scoring linebackers in our league.
Right.
TJ Watt's number 3. Van Ginkel is my biggest surprise.
Yeah,
Bro,
he's
that
always
first
gonna be
game
close.
of the year when he dropped like what 40 points or some shit because
21 points.
he did this pick six, 21 points. He's dropped over 20 points 3 times this year. And he's averaging in the teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's only been 13 weeks, and he's got 170.30 points.
Right.
So yeah, and that's 40
like
more points than he put up
offensive
last year, and we ain't even done halfway, and we ain't even done with the season yet. And he's already up 40 points on what he put up last year. But he's also playing a different position this year. He's not playing the outside linebacker. Now he's playing that outside linebacker blitzing.
Right.
He's a blitzing linebacker. He's an edge rusher where he's not, a flat or a linebacker where he's playing zone coverage and stuff like he was last year. Now he's strictly defensive end, basically outside linebacker, kind of like a Josh Hines Allen, or a Trayvon Walker, that style. A T.J. Watt, he's kind of that style of linebacker. But yeah, my other person I was going to say was Nick Cross for the Colts. Last year he only put up like 50 points, and this year he's up to like 141 points.
Yeah, I've seen his name come up quite a bit.
Yeah.
All right, who's a person that you've kept an eye on all season that you're hoping you'll be able to snatch up next year?
Oh shit.
From what you've seen them do this year, who is the person you hope can continue on with what they're doing this year that you're hoping to maybe get a sneak or a steal in next year's draft with them? I'll rephrase that question.
Well, okay. Well, yeah. Well,
so you can write it down and
I was gonna say Saquon fucking Barkley, but
I got no pens. I got no pens, no paper. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, who is somebody that has been producing this year that you didn't think was going to produce year? You even passed them up in the draft, let them go in the draft, and now you're thinking, well, maybe next year. Damn, like Barkley.
Oh, wow, that's
Barkley just, oh.
Yeah.
So mine is AJ Cole, the punter for the Raiders.
Mine is the punter for the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams told that motherfucker he was not going to be on the field much, and he has been on the field more than any other punter in the league.
Please be sure to write down AJ Cole.
AJ Cole. I got him. I got right here on my. No, I'm just playing. I got no pen, no paper.
No, the person that. Oh, that is actually a good question, man, because.
Yeah,
it's a person that you literally overlooked this year in this year's draft because you felt like they've been inconsistent in the past couple of years, and now
he wouldn't have been in the draft if he just behaved when I was on my team.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Sitting at number 2, it was Saquon for me because whenever I seen CMC go first, I was like, yo. Should I take Saquon? I know he's going to Philly.
Who'd you take?
I took Hill.
Tyreek?
Yeah, I took Tyreek.
Yeah, Tyreek's been a disappointment this season.
Yeah.
I made a trade for CMC, and that did a lot of good. A lot of good.
What did he play? 2 games and then he got injured?
Yeah.
I mean, J.K. Dobbins, you know
what
I mean?
Right.
Like, Chris was like, come on, boys. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, and this is going to sound kind of wild. I like Ladd McConkey with the Chargers. I know that seems kind of wild. But it's not no big point getter, but he has definitely – I've got him in another league, and he has definitely been one of those guys that just contributes. You know what I mean? He's been a pretty good contributor.
Yeah,
Not you. I was hushing my dog over here.
Oh, I was like, what did I say? I was just Let's talk about the fucking guy. You asked the fucking question. What?
Look, I wouldn't mind giving Barkley another chance, but knowing my luck, just as soon as he gets on my team, he's going to get hurt again.
Oh, God, don't say that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm done with Dobbins.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm done with Deebo Samuel. It's 2 years in a row where he's been inconsistent and up and down.
I've got
And
him, like in Chris's league, I've got him on the bench.
yeah, he's been inconsistent this season. ESPN going off on me over here. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you mine was Joe Mixon. He left Cincinnati. I didn't know what he was going to do in Houston. I was like, I thought I had him last year. So I was like, he went to Houston. I knew they had Dameon Pierce. I was like, man, they kind of like Dameon. I don't know why they're, I thought it was going to be more of a split carry thing in Houston. Right. I didn't realize that Joe Mixon was going to come in there and just be like, hey, this is my shit. Especially with Joe Mixon's inconsistency of health, his health issues. Not as far as his play. When he plays, he puts up. But when he was just his play time is what was slacking a lot. And my second one.
Go ahead.
My second one was David Montgomery.
Oh,
I passed up on him because I felt like Gibbs, it's going into Gibbs' second year, and that Gibbs was going to be getting more of the touches this year. I felt like it was going to be the passing of the torch this year. Boy, was I wrong. Like, I was wrong on both of them. And I felt like I could have used both of them this year. And I really was banking on White to be that guy.
Right.
And then Irvin ended up digging into my White touches, you know what I mean? So that kind of, but mine is definitely Joe Mixon, because I have drafted Joe Mixon in the first round. I feel like I've drafted Joe Mixon in the first round for like the past 3 or 4 seasons. I've had Joe Mixon on my squad, and the one year that I was like, you know what, he fell off a little bit because he moved to Houston. Let me just go with Rachaad White, since I had Rachaad White last year and he was so good last year,
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with Debo. I had Debo last year, so I was like, you know what? Let me skip over these couple players. I'm gonna go with Debo. You know what I mean? I skipped over friggin' Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Adams, and Drake London, and James Cook, and I just skipped over these people to grab Debo. And then Debo ended up just not being the man that I wanted.
Right.
So I'm definitely saying Joe Mixon as my number one.
So I got a question.
Shoot.
Here's my question.
Hold on, you didn't even answer, or was Saquon your answer for real? No, you answered already.
Well, no, I said I did say Ladd McConkey.
You did. You did say Ladd McConkey.
Damn, he's trying to get some deeper information, bro. I bet you do got a pin over there. John, what's your third, fourth, and fifth?
I see you go mute a motherfucker. You was over there telling your girl writing that shit down, wasn't you? Joni, don't lie. Was he telling you to write them names down? I was just like, no. He's like, I don't give a shit about football.
Well, technically, I could be doing the same thing over here. I got my tablet out.
I'm not.
You better keep. No, I'm just like.
Keep my player's name out your mouth.
It's obvious I fudged up my team this year.
I am gonna say I am happy with Cortland Sutton this year. He's been pretty consistent, and I tend to draft him a lot. I've noticed that in the past couple seasons that I tend to draft him a lot, and this year I believe that he did better than last year. I mean, I can even go look at that.
So now, this is my question. Besides,
did Miller get the answer?
Yeah, I did. I said second.
Yeah. Besides,
you did. Hill.
Besides Genty, what college player coming in it's going to be available for the draft are you most looking forward to seeing go to whatever team?
Oh, my team?
Picking them. Yeah, exactly. Picking them for your fantasy team?
I mean, I'm gonna say Fitzgerald, the kicker from Florida State.
Right. Okay. Hey,
I'm not giving y'all no inside.
anything,
This is too much inside information for week 14 or 13. Bro. I'm just playing. Listen.
So, I mean, look, I've got Brandon Aubrey. Okay.
I'm gonna say Travis Hunter. To be honest with you,
right?
Like, I mean, whether it's defense or offense, damn. Sorry, my battery light just came on. Whether it's defense or offense that he plays, which I think he'll probably end up more on the offensive side. If I had to take a guess, I could be wrong. They could move him as a DB, like a safety or something.
No, just piggybacking off what you're talking about with Travis Hunter, I think more than likely, if an NFL team was smart, they would pick him as a DB and then sprinkle him in more on the offense. Don't overwork him on offense.
Because something like they do Vita Vea in Florida or
right
with the running.
Take me out the picture for a minute, okay?
By the way, how do those points work for Vita Vea when he's on defense? If he ever scores like a rushing touchdown, does he get those rushing yards as well?
Yeah, if he gets a rushing touchdown, he's going to get 6 points for a touchdown. Yeah, if he gets his rushing yard, it happens the same way as well. If a wide receiver is on the kickoff team and he gets a tackle, he gets that tackle. He gets that point.
Well, you got to watch for it too, because like offensive players, if the quarterback throws a pick, whoever gets the tackle on the interception, they get counted for a tackle in the game. For your team.
That's why Jameis Winston would be perfect, for any wide receiver that for the Browns.
When he throws a pick,
bro, that post game interview he did, he was like, they asked him about the pick sixes, and he's talking to him, and then he goes into a prayer. He's like, I'm asking God to please deliver me from these pick sixes. I'm like, what? No, he didn't just say that, but he was like, no, for real, I'm done with him. I don't want him anymore.
Did you see where who I think they were Stephen A. Smith and fucking Shannon Sharp, they were doing that show and they played that clip. The both of them were just fucking laughing. They were like, Shannon Sharp was like, I don't really think God cares too much about what goes on in the NFL, but I can assure you he's not a Cleveland Browns fan.
He's probably not.
I have two that I'm looking at. Both are receivers. One is a receiver for Arizona, Tatario McMillan or something like that. And then the other one is for Missouri, Luther Burden, the third. I like their size.
Right.
McMillan is probably more on the smaller size as far as his height. He's only at 212 pounds, but he's 6'5". So, I mean, give him another 10, 15 pounds added to him. He's going to be a beast in the NFL. That's like Chad Johnson type receiver right there, big boy. Luther Burden is 5'10", 5'11". He's a small guy, but he's 208 pounds. I like his build. I like that in receivers. I don't like 5'10" receivers that are 170 pounds soaking wet. That shit, that's basically what Xavier Worthy is. That dude is fucking tiny. Any hard hit on his ass is going to paralyze him or critically injure him. Probably Antonio Brown his ass, honestly. And by that I mean I just mean by that I mean he get hit so hard he just turns retarded or stupid or whatever you want to call it. Like he turns into an idiot. That shit. I feel like that is definitely in the career path for Xavier Worthy. It's gonna happen some point. He's too small. He's too tiny. He needs to get some weight on him. If he can get some weight on him, I'll feel a little bit better about it. But Xavier Worthy is literally 169 pounds at 5'9", 5'10". Like he's very small. Like he's high school small. He's not a big dude at all. But yeah, Here, let me look up that guy's name.
I'd say the running back Boise is another one for me too.
For Boise State, yeah, Genty. But that's the one we said besides Genty.
Oh, besides
Genty, because Genty's a fucking beast. Like that man, he's a beast. He's definitely the next Saquon or the next. He's definitely the next Saquon or the next. Who else was drafted that high as a running back?
I'm not gonna put him on a pedestal like that just yet. But
I am.
I think once he gets to the.
Oh, you see his yards compared to Derrick Henry's yards. He's up there. And that dude's name is Tataroa. It's Tetairoa. So Tataroa McMillan for the Arizona Wildcats.
What's his nickname now?
His name's gonna be TT.
Thank God you ain't standing in front of a mirror. He'll come out and get
TT McMillan. TT McMillan. And then the other one, it was Luther Burden, and Luther Burden the third. So I was wrong. He's a third. And he's 5'11", 208 pounds. So yeah.
Sounds like he'd be a hell of a singer too. You know what I mean? Just I don't know, Luther.
Now if I'm going defensive wise, then I gotta go. If I'm going defensive wise, I'm going with the safety from
Minnesota.
He's
still got.
Is it Minnesota? No, I don't think it's Minnesota.
No, that freshman from Minnesota, though, he got to pick like every game for like 6-7 games straight. Yeah.
I can't find him.
That's a lot of interceptions, dude.
I can't find him.
He's a freshman, bro.
That would be a record.
Where the hell do you go?
I'm pretty close to it.
Oh, there he is. I found him. His name is Malachi Starks.
I think I've heard.
Malaki Starks. Malachi Starks. He's a junior. He's 6'1", 205 pounds. He's a Georgia boy.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, this sounds special.
I like. One I'm eager to see now. I think he's a freshman with Notre Dame, but Urlacher's kid.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to see what freaking Manning's gonna do, man. Archie Manning, whenever what's his face leave? Who is it? Who is it? The quarterback? Drake? No, not Drake.
It's Ewers.
Ewers, yeah, Ewers. I'm ready to see what he does whenever Ewers leaves.
All right, so I don't want to sound like oh, you're just picking him because of this and that and everything else. So
he had 5 interceptions, not 6 or 7. It was 5 games straight. He had an interception.
Who?
Coy Parrish from Minnesota. He's a freshman.
Damn.
He's 6'1", 200 pounds. They got him as a returner too. He's already got return touchdowns as well. But anyway, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Thank you.
Shit, I don't even know. All right, hold on. I gotta pull up my stuff. Anyway,
let me get this.
Sorry, I distracted him.
So, all right, the guy that I'm curious to see really depends on where he goes, kind of the situation that he's put in. But you got to think he's been with 2 different programs. And he was pretty successful with both programs. May sound crazy, but I like Shedeur Sanders, man. I like Shedeur.
I knew you were going to say Shedeur, and
there's something that he comes off like a prick. He's definitely a kid whose father was famous. And you can tell by the way he.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of nepo babies like that, but I like those ones that work hard, like Barry Sanders' son and
apparently
Brian Urlacher's son.
Because he didn't pan out much.
Well, I mean, nobody can be their daddy.
He's only got one kid that's still playing ball, so
Yeah, and I'm
curious to see what he does. But
I'm not a fan of Shadur. I'm not a fan of Travis Hunter either. I think Travis Hunter's attitude, like I'm an attitude man. I'm a character guy. So whenever I'm in these draft rooms, I'm looking for character.
Okay.
If I said it wrong, I meant to say if I was in these draft rooms, I'd be looking for character. I wouldn't be looking for, because Travis Hunter is one of those players that I guarantee you he's going to be an issue for a team in a couple of years. He's going to be like Jalen Ramsey was for the Jacksonville Jaguars in his third or fourth year or whatever. He's going to be an issue. He thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He thinks he's the only person to ever play both ways, which is fucking ridiculous. Everybody's played both ways from high school up until, I mean, he might be the first person to ever do it in college consistently, but there's been multiple players that have played both ways. But when they get to college, they're talked to and steered into choosing a position. Whereas in high school, they're like, hey, we need you on both sides of the fucking field, Like, we only got a roster of 36 people, and we need 22 of these motherfuckers to start. So, I don't think Shadur's going to be that. I don't think he's going to be that great in the NFL, honestly. I think he's going to be kind of like, let's see, who's a good comparison? I don't want to say Jamarcus Russell because I feel like Jamarcus was just a scrub. But I feel like he's going to be, though, that type of low. He's not going to be an elite quarterback by no means. He does have good accuracy.
There's not an elite quarterback in this draft.
No, there's not. Not Cam Ward, not Shadur Sanders. Yeah, you're right. There is no elite quarterback in this draft. So I believe Giants are going to end up with Sanders. I believe Cam Ward's going to end up at the Panthers. And Bryce Young's been doing pretty okay these past couple games, so I feel like Panthers are going to stick with him. So maybe Cam Ward ends up with like the Raiders, or maybe Tennessee. I mean, I'm trying to sit here and think of teams that need a quarterback. I don't believe Atlanta would take him. They got Michael Penix Jr., and it looks like they're going to start Michael Penix Jr. next year. Minnesota has McCartney. They're not finna, McCarthy.
McCarthy.
They're not McCarthy. They're not gonna go away from him just because of a small injury. They're gonna give him a chance. I doubt they give Sam Darnold that contract because of McCarthy. I doubt they give him that contract. I think Sam Darnold ends up in a place like Las Vegas or New York Jets. I hate to say it. Yeah, I doubt he goes back to New York Jets, but I guarantee you after the year he's had, New York might be putting him back on the prospect board. What else?
Probably.
The Giants. I mean, those are teams that need quarterback. Giants, Jets, Raiders, Tennessee. What other team do you think needs a QB? Maybe the Saints. I don't think Derek Carr is all that, but they also have that.
I think there's a lot of teams that would be stupid to just stand by and not try to get a quarterback. I mean,
yeah,
but at the same time, with the quarterback
pool being so weak.
Oh, exactly. I mean, it would be kind of crazy to run out there and try to. I mean, you'd really have to have somebody high on that whole draft status before.
Y'all think the Patriots go after another quarterback again, or do you think they're happy with Drake May?
No, because Drake May has been sneaky good. People ain't been paying attention to the Patriots. Go back and look at Drake May's shit, man. Since he started, he has been decent, especially with hardly any receivers.
Yeah, that's true. They don't have
really.
any
Ramondre
stud.
Stevenson is the only real person with him. Yeah, I mean.
All right, well, We've put on a 2-hour fucking show, guys. An hour and 45 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this short for this week, or cut this to an end for this week. Meet me on the backstage for the conspiracy.
Before we do, real quick, did you guys talk about like what the playoff projections were or whatever? Am I locked in already?
You're locked in. You're not locked in as a bye week, but you are locked in as you're in the playoffs. You and John are locked in the playoffs. Ben is locked in for a bye week. Yeah, Ben's locked in for a bye week, and you two are locked in the playoffs. Those are the only 3 teams locked in the playoffs.
So wait, now, even if Ben loses and we win, if we score enough points, could we possibly boot him? You know,
it's a possibility, but the problem, it's going to take a ton of points because Ben is sitting at 3,029, whereas so he is 3,029. He is 49 points ahead of Kush Crushers, and he is.
Which would mean at this
he's even more on you. He's like almost 100 on you.
That would mean that in order for me to,
you got to score.
Matter of fact, he is. He's 100. He's 122 points ahead of you, Hammerheads, and he's like 40 something. Yeah. So he's basically locked in that spot.
Yeah.
In one of those bye week spots, he's basically locked in as the number 1 or the number 2 seed.
That's fine. He can have the number 1 spot. That's fine. That's fine.
Is it
You're just trying to get the number 2?
The bye week?
What up?
You said the first 2 seeds get the bye week?
First 2 seeds get the bye week. 1 and 2 get the bye week. Man, and so far, you're sitting. You're sitting in
arguing with him about the bye. I was like, you could have your little bye week because I didn't think I got one.
You get a bye too if you can stay in second place. As of right now, you're in second and you're in that bye spot. But if you drop this week, then
look, whether I get the bye or not, the fact that I'm in the playoffs says a lot compared to what I did last year. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
I mean, John, you're literally like 83 points behind Miller. So you gotta
tell my fucking people, man.
The Dragons GM is not talking to your team whenever he needs to talk to his own team. Okay.
I appreciate you answering that.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and cut it short. Not cut it short. We just gonna go ahead and cut it. It's been real. It's been fun. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
All right.